Guess it's just you and me, Rhonda. Hey, you. Well, you and me and Bite. Hey, Rhonda, how we doing over there? Uh-oh, sounds like we got a story here, Rhonda. Hi, Tracy. Only you could do that, Rhonda. Only you. Ouch, sounds painful. You have good mids. All right. All right. So Rhonda's going to be lit today. And by extension, so will this live stream. It's the end of summer, dude. You shouldn't be shedding this much. Okay, that's it for a bit. We took a couple pounds off of that. Yeah, Bite's still here, just being his typical self here. Right. Good morning, Gene. That wasn't the glamour shot. I don't know what was. Or bubble wrap. That sounds like what we need is we need like bubble wrap. Romaine lettuce. Okay, well, you know, you got to take your victories when you can get them. Always been a klutz, huh? Yeah, me too, a little bit. My mom ended up in the emergency room once the day I was moving into my first house in California, because she cut herself on a butter knife. Okay, well, we'll switch things up here a bit now. Now that Bite has left us. Yeah, I think my mom got stitches too from hers. Good morning, Nancy. Yeah, if you grabbed the wrong end. Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun either. Strawberry plants never produced anything this year. I don't know. I've been told that they might be perennials and they might come back next year. So they're alive. They just didn't produce any fruit. Maybe they need a year to kick in or something. So I don't know. I think we're coming to the end of tomato season though. I got a really good harvest on that. I got hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes off of those bushes. And I've had experiences where they come back too sometimes. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut them off at the ground and see what happens. Just leave the whole scaffolding. See, the beauty of the whole scaffolding thing I built, that really worked well. I was very happy with the results. It allowed me to put more plants in a very small area. And because of that, I got just a massive harvest. Because that area would normally support what, 8 plants. And I think I had what, 24 or 27 of them in that same area. So yeah, that scaffolding thing is a good idea, and I'll definitely do that again. No, I think the tomatoes are pretty much done. I saw that there's one more tomato on there. It's about the size of a golf ball, so I'll probably get that pretty soon. But looks like the plants are pretty much done. I always have varying degrees of success with tomatoes, but this year was a banner year, bumper crop. Well, you got to meet them. Anyone ever see the movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes? Hey guys, anyone got any ketchup? Dill pickle ketchup, huh? I don't know. I don't know if that's the same thing. No, the clocks stay on all the time. The truth is, the living room where the clocks are, it's at the other end of the house, so I only hear it a little bit. I probably won't watch it live, but I'll see it at some point because it's got to be horrible. Well, I mean, a lot of people put pickles and ketchup on hamburgers, so I could see it might work. Yeah, I heard that. I haven't watched Jordan's vlog yet, but yeah, Matthew was an interesting character. I went and did a vlog with him too. He uh, he read my cards. I did a vlog on that too. No, I'm going to definitely watch it. I won't watch it live, but you know, I watched the last one too in playback, just mainly because I heard about how bad it was and how horrible the president sounded, and I had to go see if it was as bad as it's like. It was worse. I don't really get the feeling that there was anything there with Matthew Roberts. It's just I don't know. I guess I'm a skeptic when it comes to stuff like that, and I didn't see anything there that um, changed my mind in any way. Well, of course you can. You're an hour in the future from me. It's a little afternoon there. Yeah, he did look like Manson. I'll agree, but I think in part of that was just he kind of latched onto the identity, and I think he kind of grew to look that way. Because I mean, yeah, a little bit in the eyes, but um, the hair. If you cleaned him up, and cut his hair, and did yeah, he would probably not look the part. But I think he kind of, like I said, grabbed onto the identity and kind of latched onto it, and wanted to kind of play play the idea that he was. One of the things that struck me about it is what I remember. One of the things I remember about Manson is Manson was kind of a tiny little guy. He was like 5'4" or 5'6" or something. He wasn't a big guy, and this guy was a big guy. Yeah, yeah, that's right, John. He was like 6'2", and it struck me as odd because usually you know genes like that come from the father, and so if Charlie was short, then this guy should have been too. And that was one of the things that kind of struck me a little bit because he's a big guy. Yeah, that's what I heard. That I didn't actually see the episode. I guess Jordan may have covered that. I don't even remember. But I guess he found out that he wasn't. Hello. I remember somebody posted in the Facebook page talking about Matthew Roberts' death was on the Candyland riots, or not the Candyland riots, the Jordan Lyon one. That they mentioned that he had found out he wasn't Manson's sons, and that person speculated that hope he found some peace from that. And I thought that was kind of weird because it seemed to me from meeting the guy that he was really kind of embracing it. If he was ashamed by it or bothered by it in any way, I don't think he would, reference it and talk about it and have a live stream or have a web page dedicated to it and stuff like that. I think you sort of identify it. No, these are actually new glasses. It's just a new model or new copy of the same model. Good morning, Yvonne. It's funny when you were talking about Kathleen Kennedy. I thought you were talking the producer who worked with Spielberg. It's like, wait, Grave of Kathleen Kennedy, the person who ruined Star Wars. Well, the other pair of glasses was just over the counter readers. These are actually prescription. And like I said, they use the same frame and lens, so it looks like the same pair of glasses. They feel like the same piece of pair of glasses. I can see clearly with them now. What happened to me? Nothing. I've always looked this way. Oh, I didn't hurt my leg. Rhonda hurt hers. Apparently, she slipped on some lettuce at the grocery store, tore some ligaments. Apparently, it's pretty painful. Laid her up. Yeah, I am too. The other glasses were okay, but they were cheap. I can see better with these. They match my hair. Okay. You must be talking about the gray stuff on the sides, right? Mhm. No, I'll keep looking because I still believe I'll find them, and that's fine. Then I'll just have two pairs. They're around here somewhere, I'm sure. The only other option I think is it's possible I might have set them on the roof of the car and driven off at one point. At which point I won't find them. But it was a couple weeks ago in the middle of my weekend when I was at home where I lost them. So it's possible I took them off at Home Depot or something and put them down and forgot about them or something on something. But it's also very likely they're here somewhere, and I'll just stumble on them some point. It'd be funny if they were like just in the folds of the couch here. Got to admit, I didn't even look. Nope. That would have been a memorable live stream, though, if they were, right? I think I saw Kingpin once. Oh man, I went crazy at the rock store last weekend. I got a lot of good stuff. I got that. That's a piece of Euperlite. It's actually been carved a little bit to resemble the moon. And I thought that was kind of cool. I don't usually go with the carved rocks, but I've been looking for a raw piece of Euperlite, and this is the closest to a raw piece that I found. It's about the size of a softball. But what I like about Euperlite is it's really cool under the black light. It's got these little orange crystals that glow on it, which are really cool. So I like Euperlite. And it turns out a lot of the stuff I got this time is stuff that reacts to the black light. So definitely not done collecting that yet. Let's see here. I'll save that one for last. That's something I got. It doesn't seem like that much, but it's some kind of cool little crystals on it. But this is another one of those that glows. Uh, in this case, kind of a pinkish color when you hit it with the black light. So I thought that was really cool. I had to take that, obviously. And I got a couple of these. These are pieces of fossilized coral. And so I'm starting to get a few fossils too. And I thought these were kind of cool. But these are also kind of cool too because they also react with the black light here. You can't really see it that well, but the individual little cells there of the creature kind of glow in the black light. And I thought that was really cool. And I've been a pyrite fan for a while, and I've wanted to get a nice big pyrite crystal. And I thought that was cool. That's just a little teeny tiny piece, but that crystal there, that's about a centimeter or a little bit more on a side there. So that's a really big kind of pyrite crystal. I thought that was really cool. I like that. I wanted to get a piece of that for a while. I've got some pyrite, but it's smaller cubes. And I got this one. Just this one just kind of caught my attention a little bit because of the way it shimmers. This is another one of those that I normally wouldn't get, but I like how some of the stuff here is like it's almost changes in color when you change the angle. So I thought that was kind of cool. That was pretty. And this is a nice piece that the owner was almost reluctant to sell to me. That's another piece of azurite. I've got a couple pieces of azurite, but this is in a slightly different form. And I thought that was pretty cool looking. I like azurite because azurite's pretty. And then of course this one I actually asked about because uh, Kara had posted a picture of this on one of her video accounts on her Facebook page, and she showed this thing, and it looks kind of interesting and kind of boring and all that. There's a few things going on there. There's several different types of crystal. You got the smoky quartz here. This was something else, but then there was this stuff on the top, and and what really caught my attention is what happens when you hit it with a black light. This is another one of those that glows in a brilliant green color. And unfortunately, the computer is kind of washing it out, but this is a spectacular piece when you hit it with a black light. And so, yeah, I really like that. So, yeah, that's the kind of cool things I got recently. And there's something else I'm going to go probably pick up next week. Glow in the dark wool. That would be interesting. I never knew they did that, but I guess it doesn't surprise me that somebody would. Yeah, I love the green too. In fact, I wish it looked good on the camera. It kind of washes out. There's too many great movies today that couldn't, from the past that could never get made today. Because they wanted it themselves. You know, they're that's the fun thing about them is she especially is a rock hound like I am, and so you know I would love to actually see their house because they say they got all sorts of stuff in their house too, and some of the stuff that they buy goes into their private collection. But the Chris, Kara's husband, the co-owner of the place, he loved this thing because he said it was just so smooth and so it was so nice to kind of rub your hand over. And it is. It is really smooth and pretty. So, like I said, I've got some more malachite. I got several specimens of malachite, but nothing like that. My understanding is my uncle watches sometimes. I don't know if it's water or if it or I'd have to look up azurite and figure out how it doesn't look like it's something that got smooth on a river. It probably formed that way. It could be Yvonne. Like I said, I have to go look at it because let me show you what my other piece. I got several pieces, but I got one piece of just strictly azurite, and you'll see it looks a little bit different than that thing does. Okay, let's get myself pulled back together here. Okay, let's see. See, this is another piece of azurite that I have, and this is way different. In fact, most of the azurite I've seen looks more like this than like this. I mean, you can clearly see it's the same stuff because you know it's that same just gorgeous green color. But there are differences to it, and like I said, this is more what the stuff normally looks like. That's a nice specimen. I love this piece. That's one of my favorite pieces, just because it's so gorgeous. And honestly, looking at it in here doesn't do justice. You have to take it out in the sun to look at it. Yeah, I miss having her call in, and it's still kind of an empty part of the Sunday afternoon now because that used to be the time, 4 or 5 in the afternoon. That's when she'd call and we'd talk, and I miss those calls. And my mom loved hearing from them on the live streams. My mom would be glad to hear that, Charlotte and Logan. Yeah, I got to go back because I haven't really identified which of the live streams it was that my mom called in on. I really ought to come up with like a a playlist with all of the calls where she called in. I mean, some of them were obvious because she often called in on Christmas Day. I do a Christmas Day live stream, and she was alone in her place on Christmas Day, and I was alone in my place on Christmas Day. So she would call in on that day during a live stream, and that'd just be part of the thing. So I know I can go back like to Christmas, you know, 2 years ago, and you know, pull that up. And I think we did like Mother's Day, and we did her birthday and stuff like that too. So there's a few obvious places, but there was times where she just called in at random. Thank you, Yvonne. I appreciate that. Nana rocked. Yes, she did. They were supportive, but they were concerned. I remember specifically my dad said, "That's a one-way trip. You go there, there's no coming back because you'll never be able to afford to come back." But the kind of central pivot point of the whole thing, and the central thing that kind of held everything together was, the profits from the sale of the house. That was what gave me everything I needed to start. And it took a while out here. My plans were to have a job within 3 months. It was a little bit more like 9 months, but other than that, it worked perfectly. And I got out just in time too, because it was less than a year after I left that COVID hit, and what happened at Disneyland because of COVID. I would have lost my job, and it would have been very very hard to find one at that point because nobody was hiring because all the businesses were being shut down by people being paranoid over COVID. I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, last time I was there, was for my mom's funeral, and at the time, I think the only thing that I did, short of people, I mean, I got a lot of friends that are there, but the only thing that I did that really I missed was the time we went to the beach. I love the ocean smell. I think you're right, John. In fact, I've often pondered what would have happened if I'd come earlier or later, because I'd been thinking about going to Texas for 5 years or so before I actually did it. And if I'd gone like 3 years earlier or 2 years earlier, who knows how things might have turned out. Might not have found the perfect job at the right time. Yeah, I know housing prices are out of control right now. And that's really good for me too, because that doesn't affect me at all. It's so nice being able to say I own this place. It belongs to me. It's not the banks. I'm not making payments on it. It's mine and its profits are mine. So like I said, it's a great situation to be in. I am very lucky compared to some people, compared to a lot of people. It's Cradle here. I'm covering up Matt's videos here. This is my long week at work, so that means I'm also going into my long weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. Cat food ad, huh? All right. Do you have a cat? If not, that was pretty poor marketing. Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. And a lot of it was caused by fear mongering from the government, destroying people's lives because they don't want to wear a mask or get stuck. Yeah, and the media, you're right. So yeah, that was pretty poor marketing then, huh, Nancy? Yeah, they definitely like to lock us down again. Then, and the scary thing is that was such a dangerous precedent we allowed our governments to take over our lives like that, to just prove this. They can declare an emergency and say, okay, that's it. All your basic freedoms, they're gone. You got to stay in your house. You got to do what we say when we say you do it. I mean, I don't remember where, but there was some place, I think it was in Europe somewhere where they required you to stay at home and they would call you on the phone and you had 30 minutes to reply and prove that you were home. And if not, they could arrest you. Yes, it was. And those of us that pointed that out were called conspiracy theorists. It came from bat soup. That's what we were told. Yeah, the beach guy in California. Right, exactly. Yeah, that's a scary situation with those astronauts. And then they brought that pod back to Earth just yesterday, but with no one in it. All I know is that they're stuck on the space station and they're not going to be able to come home until early next year. I mean, they're fine up there. They got plenty of provisions up there. It's just They were planning to go up there for what, a few days or a couple weeks or something, and it's been months now. Well, they send rockets up there with supplies, so food isn't the problem. They got atmosphere processors up there, so air isn't the problem. They're just stuck for the moment. See, I'm exactly the opposite, Yvonne. If I had an opportunity to do that, I'd be up there in a second. I think they grow some food up there too. Man, I must be really dehydrated today. Through my first glass, and we're not even halfway through yet. Yeah, set me up with Elon, definitely. That's a guy I'd like to meet. I don't think they'll have mental issues. They are far from being the people that have been in space the longest. I mean, people have been up there for a year. It is pretty vast and pretty stark, but there's some really beautiful, really cool things up there too. Yes, yeah, I would have loved to be William Shatner. And probably the issues that they are having come from the fact that they're stranded up there, versus having an option to come down, or not knowing if they're going to be able to get them down. I mean, they'll get them down, I'm sure, but I don't know if nervous or excited would be the word. I think it might be a combination of the two. Yeah, I'd like that part of it too. I'd probably just spend a whole bunch of the time just staring out the window. Can you imagine the vlogs I could make from orbit? A live stream with a background of the space station 1,000 miles up, traveling at 26,000 miles an hour. That would be cool. if we don't destroy ourselves first. McGregor, the next town over, SpaceX builds a lot of its rocket engines. It's like 20 miles away, and when they test the rocket engines, I can hear it here. I remember one time Jordan was here, and we were out in the backyard, and we heard just started hearing this rumbling. I said, "Yeah, you hear that rumble?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "That's SpaceX. They're testing a rocket." I don't remember. I haven't really followed that story that closely. I don't know how they got left behind or whatever. I'd have to look into that. Yeah, that's it. They must have been on a terrorist watch list. That was it. It was an illegal size of shampoo. Yes, he did. Yeah, he moved it to Austin. Which I mean, if you're trying to escape the lefty part of the spectrum, Austin's the last place I would have gone. But whatever. No, cynical? Are you kidding? Cheese sounds good. Actually, I had cheese on my breakfast burrito this morning with my Carolina Reaper hot sauce. As long as it's funny and not funny looking. Funny is good. Funny can also be good if you're funny looking, but being just funny looking isn't as good. Funny how that works. I've had trees, so it's okay. I mean, it's not one of those things I say, hey, I could really go for some tree sun right now. Well, maybe if you feel like a nut, maybe you're a candy bar. Yeah, definitely a candy bar. I like almond joys. A lot of people aren't into the coconut, but coconut's good. No, for the most part, Jordan shot the vlogs, all at one time, and basically, I mean, I was there a lot. He rarely had to do multiple takes, But I remember, when we were driving someplace to go do a vlog, I'd be driving and he'd be, studying up on the subject matter. He did a lot of research on his vlogs, and I'm guessing he probably still does. Haven't been with him on a vlog in a long time, but you know, he'd watch documentaries, he'd watch other YouTube videos, and no, he's just a fountain of knowledge on that stuff. German chocolate cake, that sounds good. Okay, yeah, you kind of want to peel the kiwis. Well, part of what Jordan has going for him is he's got good camera presence, and that's why he did well. Was he started off with the acting, and then was um, doing got into the vlogging because he connects with people. He's a very personable guy, has good presence on screen, and he remembers the information. He had the ability to take down a bunch of information from a whole bunch of people and boil it down to what he thought were the important points and present it. And he did that very well. I think Mars confectioners are here in Waco somewhere. I have to look that up sometime, maybe see if they've got a tour. Would it be fun to go through a candy store or candy factory? Yeah, Mars bars, exactly. Oh yeah, I mean Dr. Pepper. There's a Dr. Pepper museum, and I do believe they still brew it here. I've been to the museum a couple times. Sure, I went once with Jordan because Jordan wanted to hit it too. Thought you had to go to Belgium for that. Butter butt scotch, huh? Doesn't sound very good. I mean, unless there's real scotch in it, or is it squash? Huh? Squash. Okay. I think that happens to all of us as we get older too. In my case, I think it's accelerated because with all the hot, spicy stuff I eat, I've burned my taste buds off. I was never really a huge chocolate fan, but there's things out there I think that are just too sweet for my taste. But I like dark chocolate more than like milk chocolate. I've heard people say they have a sweet tooth. I never heard anyone say they are a sweet tooth. That's interesting. Yeah, me too, Rhonda. Not exactly snore. They kind of wheeze sometimes when they're sleeping. Haven't gotten your sweet tooth yet, huh? Okay. I think what bite and nibble is just because they're fat. Yeah, cats tend to do that. Blows me away how much bite and nibble grew. Well, define huge. Are they the size of a lion? That would be pretty huge. I mean, last time I checked, bite's 18 pounds. That's pretty huge. All right. Thanks for stopping in, Tracy. Good talking to you. Yeah, it's true. No Darth, no Black Dot. At least not so far. Haven't seen Jeff yet either. And Rhonda's on meds. Yeah, well, that's that. I haven't determined whether that's hurting the live stream or helping. Although I'm leaning towards the latter. I'm game. Gotta say, I don't think I have anything in the house that would do the job though. Got some liquor. What does it say? Liquor is quicker. I'd have to be careful though. If I got too drunk, the rest of the end of the vlog would just be me sleeping. First vlogger to get really hammered on a live stream and then choke on his own vomit. Live to the world. For my next trick, painkillers don't make you sleepy. You know what makes me sleepy? Caffeine. Who'd have thunk, right? To get bite to wake me up, get bite to give me heart palpitations here, heart compressions. I wish it had no effect on me. Like I said, it makes me sleepy. That was why I just kind of cut it out of my life about, I don't know, it's got to be 7 or 8 years now. But why are they showing? That's weird. His channel isn't monetized yet. I wonder if YouTube puts ads on your video, even if it isn't monetized and you just don't get the money. That's a drag. Your mom's in her jammies, huh? And are you on workman's comp? That's the big question. That was a workplace injury, man. You could sue them. Oops. I just punched my laptop. Gonna call Canada's version of Canada, whatever. Gonna call Canada's version of OSHA. Funny thing, I didn't know it was Matt either. Sometimes it just ticks me off though. No, I'm not supposed to. And actually, the truth is, I probably wouldn't do it that much, except for the fact I actually got it kind of hanging off um, the TV tray a little bit. I don't know if you can even see it. No, you can't really even see it, but it's hanging about 3 inches off the TV tray, so I can get it close enough that I can see it from where I am. Maybe the mad vlogger. Not going to mess with me, Mouse. Who are you? You just saw what I did to the laptop. That's 10 times for you. Wait, you make cat food? That's awesome. I give my cats cat food. I tried rabbit food, but they wouldn't eat it. Do the dogs like pumpkin treats? Never really been into the pumpkin spice anything, but I do love apples. That's why if I put trees in the backyard, one of them is going to be an apple tree. Rhonda's not a fan of pumpkin spice, huh? Also thought it'd be fun to put like fruit trees in the front yard. I got one half of the front yard that there's no trees at all. It's full sun all day, so it'd be perfect place for a tree. I'm thinking things more like apple pie and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I like having a nice big yard. Yeah, you got to get stuff like that on paper, Rhonda. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries didn't do anything. I don't know. We'll see. It would have been fun. Well, then take them to court. Yeah, I agree. If they took a tree out and said they were going to replace it, then they need to replace it. A speck of dust I kept looking at here on my glasses. Yeah, see, I'd be upset with that. Sounds like you get two reasons to sue them, or three. I have really narrow doors here going into the bathrooms. It's weird. I mean, they're only probably about that wide. That was one of the concerns I ever had about having my mom come here. She wouldn't be able to get into the bathrooms. Yeah, that's the way it was in my mom's apartment too. The doors were extra wide, and so wide you could almost like drive a Winnebago through them. You're a mess, Rhonda. All that because of lettuce. I got to admit, it's been a while since I bought romaine lettuce. I've heard of people doing that, Rhonda. They cut the bottom off the lettuce, grow it, put it back in the ground, and it keeps growing. Mmm, tacos. Yeah, I live tacos too. Girls don't like tacos. Oh man, don't know what they're missing. Yeah, but tacos are portable. Casserole isn't. I don't know about every day, but I like tacos. Mexican food, it's one of my favorites. Now, I'm a soft shell taco person. Street tacos, a little well marinated beef, some onions, a little cilantro. You're ready to go. And of course, a nice spicy hot sauce. Taco pizza sounds interesting. I like guacamole, but that's about as far as I go in terms of avocado. It's just, it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't taste like anything. It's a green, tasteless, mushy thing. You have an avocado tree, but you don't eat avocado? That's interesting. All right, good seeing you again, Gene. Thanks for stopping in. Grow because you can. Okay. Yeah, I like asparagus. I steam asparagus from time to time. Really, really good. Grilled, okay. Yeah, that's probably good too. Olive oil and pink salt, huh? That does sound good, actually. I don't even know what that is, Gene. 3 minutes on a side, huh? Interesting. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. Yeah, I like asparagus when it has just a little bit of a crunch to it still. Yeah, I love Brussels sprouts too. I haven't had Brussels sprouts in a while, but they get good ones here in Texas. They're like the size of a golf ball. Squashes, cheeses, and onions, huh? Interesting. Oh, you don't know what you're missing, Charlotte. She's gonna go for the miss, huh? Uh, like I said, not gonna know what you're missing. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Steamed Brussels sprouts, a little habanero salt. You're good to go. Good eating. I like peas too. Yeah, it's something my mom actually let me, kind of shared with me. Basically, you just dry up habanero peppers, grind it into a powder, and then mix it with regular table salt. I use sea salt. Actually, put it in the food processor with a chopping blade, and just let it grind it up into a real smooth, fine powder. I always keep a little of that in the house. Never tried succotash. So I don't know. I wouldn't be able to answer that one. Closest, well, no, I guess I can't even call that microwave. No, I guess I don't really do anything microwave dinner wise. I'll nuke something to heat it up in the microwave, but it's usually something that I've made and refrigerated or frozen, from at an earlier date. Marie Callender does make some good frozen stuff. Good, that's what we were shooting for. I just saw a bite at the end of the hall. Figured maybe I could cook some out here. You want to watch Bite see his kitty treats here? Actually, I did. I got better accuracy flicking it off my finger than I do throwing it. That one didn't go so well. Sometimes the kitty treats flying out will encourage nibble to come out. Figure out why I can't pull the TV tray here a little bit. Cord stuck under the foot of it here. There we go. Let's try that again here. Yeah, I kind of do that, Yvonne, too. I prefer kind of making my own food. At least then I know what I'm getting. Yeah, I was never really a huge lima bean fan. White's looking for more treats here. Yeah, I like red pepper. It's good in like spaghetti and pizza and stuff like that. But with pizza, a lot of people spread it on top. I actually like mixing it into the sauce. Yeah, you can't go wrong with pizza. That's a lot of pies. Yeah, I have. I do frozen pizza from time to time. It's the stuff you put in the oven, though, not ones that you microwave. Yeah, I know. Why would you ever need 200 pies? I'm intimidated by the idea of making one. Yeah, I'd love a good pie recipe for like an apple pie or a cherry pie or a peach pie, lemon meringue. Can't go wrong with that. Pumpkin pie, chocolate pie. Yeah, I think I said lemon meringue, didn't I? You gonna come up and visit, Bite? Come on. Yeah, I knew we'd probably see him. That's the flashlight. You don't want me to pet you with a flashlight, do you? I got to brush you with a brush. It has. It actually has cooled off quite a bit. It's been nice lately. Went out last walking last night. It was like in the upper 50s. It was perfect weather for walking around. We're only getting into the 80s today, I think. That's been nice because just a few weeks ago, it was like 100. I ought to do a bike vlog. That would be kind of fun. I don't want to do it when it's too hot and when it's too cold. But as we get more into fall, we should start getting some nice days. Should fix up my bike and go out for a ride. That would be fun. Yeah, I think we're kind of in a little bit of a cooling streak right now, but it's going to end. It's going to be back in the 90s before very long. Yeah, I know. It can do that here too. Go from too cold to too hot or too hot to too cold in just, a couple of days. No, I've never hit him with a vacuum. He always runs away when the vacuum cleaner comes on. And he definitely doesn't like to vacuum. Just saying. We haven't done a belly rub video for a few weeks, few months probably. Look at that big fat belly. Good. Cat fur is flying now. Of course, brushing him isn't going to help matters any. And Bite's still a pretty big, pretty big dude here. You're blowing raspberries on his tummy. I hope you appreciated that Bite. We got so much fur, dude. Look at all that fur. Why go on a diet when I can just brush you, right? Lose 12 pounds of fur. Yeah, what did you do for your live stream today? I brushed my cat and 25 people watched. You're like a Kleenex box, dude. A little bit of fur comes out, and then a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, he likes that. He likes to brush. And people hit the like button. And I'm here for you not watching the NFL. Never really been into any of the sports. Don't get me wrong. I'll go to a live game and I'll enjoy it, But in terms of like turning on the TV and hey, let's watch a football game on TV, it's like, yeah, let's go watch paint dry. Just not into it. And watch the Vikings. All right, go Minnesota. I know that because all my family's from Minnesota. Name any other team though, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you what state they're in. Oh yeah, that is literally like watching paint dry. Watching golf. Vikings are your high school mascot. Okay. I'm thinking the Minnesota Vikings, but I'm guessing there's probably more. Well, I guess if you're going to go with the V, you might as well do the double V thing. That works. I wouldn't say a big sports fan. He's a wrestling fan, and he actually referees and in some wrestling matches. He's done that for years. No, not WWE, real wrestling. He's actually offended by pro wrestling. See you next time, Nancy. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, they got some good stuff. In fact, this thing they posted a video of this thing uh, on their Facebook page, and that inspired me to get that. That one seems kind of cool by itself, but when you hit this white thing with the ultraviolet light, it turns this bright fluorescent green. It's not even the camera. The camera isn't even doing a good job of it. You can see a little bit of green. This is what was on the cover photo, but it just washes out the camera so much. And so I saw that and I said, "Yeah, you showed something on a video. It looked like smoky quartz, and you hit it with a UV light and it turned green." And said, "Oh yeah, that's this thing." So I said, "Yeah, I'm taking that one with me." And it wasn't cheap, but I like that one a lot. It's got such a beautiful green color. It's just stunning. I got that one. That one's kind of cool. That one's another UV reactive one. This one turns red when you hit it with a light. And so I like any of these things that are UV reactive. I got this piece. That's a piece of malachite. I think they call it botryoidal malachite. I saw that one, and I had to take that one home. This one's just got such an amazing tactile feel to it. Yeah, this one goes pink. In fact, when I got this home, she had forgotten to give me the name of this. And so I ended up sending her a picture of it. And she initially said it was Mangano calcite. And I said, that's interesting because it doesn't look like the piece of Mangano calcite I have. Here, let me show you my Mangano calcite. I've shown you this before. This is actually a piece that I got the first year I went to the Rock and Mineral Show. So I've had this one for a little over a year, but that's a piece of Mangano calcite. And so when she was saying, "Oh yeah, this is Mangano calcite," they don't even look like the same thing. But the neat thing about it, about Mangano calcite, is what it does. It glows to kind of almost an orangish pink color. It's just really a hot pink color. So that one's really cool. And you look at them together. I mean, they're obviously related because they both kind of have the pink tint to them. It's just this is a bigger crystal, and this is like little smaller crystals, but still very cool. Definitely related, and fun part of the collection here. And that was just kind of a cool little piece of pyrite. I got several pieces of pyrite, but look at that ugly dude in the reflection there. That's scary, huh? Kind of creepy, isn't it? Yeah, you see us. It's like romper room. I see Rhonda, I see Yvonne, I see Jean. I see Nancy. Yeah, I like pyrite. I've had a piece of pyrite for a long time, and I've gotten several new pieces recently. I like it when it kind of mixes with quartz. Malachite is supposedly really beautiful when it's sliced, but I would never slice any of my stones. I think it ruins them. This one here, I think was sort of ruined. You know, a lot of times they do this kind of stuff. They take cool things like this and then shape it into something else. This thing's been sort of milled out to look like the moon, so it's got a bunch of little craters in it and stuff like that. Sort of looks like the Death Star, doesn't it? Something you take out a planet. That this actually is a crater that's on the backside of the moon. And they've actually speculated because this big, massive crater relative to the size of the moon, that if the moon had faced the Earth this way, it might have completely changed human evolution because people would have looked up and said, "That's an eye looking down at us. Ooh, scary eye. Ooh." But I'm just kind of weird that way. Yeah, this is actually more what malachite looks like in its raw state. And I mean, I love this piece. This piece is awesome, especially if you take it outside and look at it under the sun. It's pretty cool looking right here, but you look at it under sunlight and it's just gorgeous. And so, you know, I knew these things were related, you know, because I mean, look, there's no denying those colors are identical. So it's clearly malachite, but you know, this is more kind of the rough nature stuff, and that's they call that, like I said, botryoidal malachite. So I don't know. I like that. It's a very cool part of my new addition to my collection here. And I've been getting like fossils lately too. And so this is fossilized coral, which is kind of cool. And this does some kind of fun stuff. I don't know if I'm even be able to show it to you, but it kind of does some fun stuff under the black light where some of the individual fossil critters there actually glow. Well, the moon is actually especially cool. I didn't show this this time here, but the moon is made out of Uperlite. Well, no, the moon isn't, but this thing is made out of Uperlite. And Uperlite is cool because it also does some fun stuff when you hit it with a black light. Some of the crystals glow orange, and so that's really kind of fun. And I've been looking for just kind of a raw piece of Uperlite for a while, and they found this. This isn't raw; it's definitely been shaped, but it's more raw than any piece of Uperlite I've found in the past. So, and it's a and kind of a model of the moon. So, Russian Heritage Museum has malachite vases that are bigger than us. Yeah, that would be cool. I've always kind of secretly wished I had like a big, beautiful, you know, massive stone piece that I could put in the front yard. Uh, that would be a big like amethyst cathedral or something like that, something big enough that it couldn't get stolen, and it would just be a conversation piece in the front yard. Kind of like that mutant Venus flytrap thing I got. That continues to look amazing in the front yard, by the way. It's one of those things that you don't notice it really if you're on the street, but you come up to the door and you walk by it, and it looks really really awesome. It's cooled off a little bit here. We're going to be back in the 90s in a week or so, but we're in the like mid 80s today, and it's been getting down into the 50s at night, which is awesome. That's great going out and walking around weather. Well, see, that would be the issue. I'd have to get something large enough that somebody wouldn't try and walk away with. Now, granted, Waco is a pretty safe area. We don't really have a lot of thefts here, but it'd still have to be something pretty massive. I mean, I could even see like a big piece of quartz, like some of those pieces back there, but huge, massive. I've seen, Kara. She shows me pictures that she takes of some of these rock and mineral wholesalers that she visits, and they've got quartz clusters like that are so big they're on pallets, and those got to be like thousands of dollars. We're about to lose Rhonda. I guess that means the live stream's about over. Yeah, I do too, Rhonda. I hope you feel better. Get some workman's comp from work. Sue the city or whoever to get them to replace your tree and build you a ramp. Compensate you for knocking stuff off your walls. Not exactly 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes until we hit the 2 hour mark, but I usually go a few minutes over. You know that. 2:04, 2:06. If we're having a particularly interesting conversation, longer, but yeah, it sounds like Rhonda's being treated like a princess today, definitely. I think it's 1 o'clock. It's 11 there, huh? Must be on the West Coast. I'm trying to stagger the clocks out a little bit so they aren't all going off at once. Kind of makes it a jumble. I need to go take some vacation time. The boss is definitely kind of putting the pressure on. The truth is, we're a few weeks out of maintenance interval at work again, and I've been told that leads don't need to be there for one whole week. So it sounds like I'm going to be getting a week off in a few weeks. So Who knows? Maybe we'll go do something fun. Last time we went and did one of those, I went to Johnson Space Center in Houston and went and did that Dazed and Confused filming locations. That was fun. I don't know what Jordan's plans are or where I would meet up with him. I may just get out and drive too. Rocks, food, and just stuff, huh? Yeah, well, that's it, you know. Go on a rock hunting tour. That'd be fun. Find different rock and mineral shops and explore them. Bring a ton of money and expect to come back with a bunch of rocks. Now, I got to admit, I've gone 60 years in my life. I don't have a single pair of heels. Just not me. Plus, the fact I don't need to make myself look artificially tall. I am already sort of artificially tall. I don't know. You're allowed to do that today. You can have your life destroyed if you don't honor that. Yeah, probably best not to wear them if your leg's all messed up, at least for a while, till you build up some strength. I'd want to go someplace where I had a reasonable chance of finding something cool, though. That's the only thing. You know, I've wandered around Lake Waco a few times, and generally what you see there is a lot of limestone. And, you know, that's not really exciting. It would be cool to go someplace where you could find like some cool things. Yeah, if you had a messed up leg, a hula hoop's your best friend. I have seen some stuff get posted on my Facebook page that indicates that there are places to find rocks and minerals in Texas. You know, especially like amethysts and stuff like that. We had a SeaWorld in California. I've been there a bunch of times. It was fun. I guess I got to go see Six Flags over Texas at some point too. That's up in Dallas. One in San Antonio. Okay. Yeah, going to SeaWorld and having everything be shut down, that wouldn't be too much fun. Oh, hello, Mark. I'm glad I stayed for a few minutes here and didn't pull the plug at 2 hours. How you doing? Yeah, I'd probably do a car trip. I might be more like Jordan and just get out there and drive. Truth is, I enjoyed driving a couple years ago when I went and visited my mom in California and drove there and back. I enjoyed that trip. And I also enjoyed driving back from California this past time when I came back after the funeral. Yeah, well, that's it. Just get out there and see what's there. It's fun sometimes just to wander around little small towns. No, not even close. I don't think I'm at 30,000 miles yet. That baffled the guy at the leasing office when I brought it back. They looked at the mileage like, you just don't drive very much. And I had because you're allotted a certain amount of mileage or miles on a lease car when you bring it back, and I don't think I was even half of what the allotment was. Yeah, hopefully. I hope it'll drive for many years to come. It's a decent car and it's done very well by me. And look who came back right for the end here. The thing I got going for me is I just don't drive it very much. I'm very close to work, and so it's 3 or 4 weeks between tank fill ups. Yeah, with a little luck, it'll be the last car I ever need because I don't really need a flashy car. It's a Honda. It's good, reliable. It's got the pep that I want in a car. It's got an economy mode that really gets pretty decent mileage when you get out on the highway. I get 40 miles per gallon off that thing. And that's what I do when I'm out on the road or something like that. I'll put it into economy mode. Get 450 miles to a tank full. Anyway, it seems like we're kind of winding down on this one here. So I think I'm going to pull the plug on this and we'll pick this up again next week. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you next time. Good night.